The following is a transcript between Matías De Stefano, referred to as me, and his higher self, referred to as I am, originally recorded on September 4th in the constellation Virgo of the mental week examining through the third eye chakra. Me. In yesterday's extensive talk during our alignment, you gave me the image of 12 signs of the zodiac to explain that one of our great challenges is to understand unity while respecting the characteristics and capabilities of each of the parts that make up the whole. This left me thinking that many times we don't think about what those qualities are. I am. As I showed you yesterday, the mind will seek to analyze the details of each one of the parts, as in the Cartesian scientific method, to reach the result or answer that gives us insight and understanding. It is necessary to analyze the parts and the process by which said result is reached. As we said yesterday, there's only one way to become the cosmos, and that's through the order of its parts, since the word cosmos comes from the Greek meaning order. If you don't put order to all the things that are inside, you can't understand what I am and what I have. If you don't understand the different parts of reality, you can't understand the meaning of existence. And each one of the parts play a fundamental role, since its positive and its negative properties. It has its own tools that, when correctly combined with the others. Me. As we speak, we cannot expect to find order just by feeling, by waiting for things to settle on their own. It is like the erroneous concept of faith, which implies a certainty that something will happen, and the fact that it happens is above my actions. Or thinking about the confused concept of hope, which is precisely waiting for something to happen that is out of my reach. The typical phrase that is often used is time puts everything in its place, or time solves everything. These are false beliefs, because time is nothing more than the result of our actions and attitudes in space. You have to do things for the things to happen. And if you don't understand those things and their qualities, you'll never see the result. I am. In the spiritual world, so much trust is placed on the order of the universe that the scientific research, the step-by-step, the analysis of things in order to understand them, becomes unworthy. Understanding reality is not only trusting that it exists, but implies that knowing it, understanding it, assimilating it in each of its factors. The alchemy of the being is not mental magic. It is applied chemistry from the Arabic and Greek al-kumiyah, pouring together, unifying elements. This is the process of the mind. The task is to learn. Nature is to overcome through awareness. This can only be achieved by analyzing the parts that make me up, honoring the differences and the qualities of each of my organs. Then I will know how to take care of them. Understanding the properties of each food, I will know how to nourish myself. Understanding the potentialities of each chakra, and I will know how to connect them and activate them. Understanding their connection, I will be able to locate them and recognize their positions and their logic in order that they are an expression in my body. Accepting that I call its energetic potentials emotions, I can identify what vibrates in me and what I lack. By recognizing the forces that make me up, I can activate my capabilities, my capacities, my abilities, and I can open myself up to assimilate what I lack. And in this process, I recognize the ability to expand or my limiting conflicts, thus understanding my beliefs about the world. This will allow me to free myself of the preconceptions and free others from my prejudices, thus valuing the qualities of each of the people around me, knowing now that each one is like those chakras or organs of my bodies which play a fundamentally different role. We cannot claim that all the organs in our bodies are our hearts, or that they'll all work the service with love, because the body would not exist, we would die. The order is to know each other. It is to understand each part that generates me. It is to give it value that corresponds to it. It is to honor the places it occupies, the tool it provides, and in this way, to live in harmony with the cosmos. Me. I do not expect others to be like me, or as it seems to me, or is appropriate according to my beliefs, but to understand that the abilities, the skills, and personalities from each one are useful for the functioning of the whole. That is why governments or institutions don't work, because it's as if each organ of our body, instead of collaborating, delegated the power to a single organ in the body. That's why the concept of unity must be understood more as a mechanism of many different entities building a single being, or being a part of it, than as many beings with the same idea and philosophy, thought or feeling being one. I am. Therefore, each one of the individuals, before thinking about the social belief that limit us, which is always easier because it's the way that the other is blamed, what they must first do is recognize what their own beliefs are, those that make oneself. Identifying each of them is like finding a number that form the code to open a safe. They are hidden in each one, and they may take years to discover them, but it's important to start thinking about them, to recognize that they are there and that those beliefs are the ones that filter the information of everything we receive from the divine consciousness of the All. Me. I made my list in which I discovered and became aware of my beliefs of being an envoy from the universe, my belief that I have a purpose, commanded by the celestial spheres, my belief that everything I do is mandated by past lives, my belief that there is always someone who knows more and I am nothing, my belief that I'm useless despite everything I do, my belief that I do not deserve to be loved, that men are not worthy, that the human is a bacterium. All of them, positive and negative, have shaped my way of being and what I have done in each step. I have recognized that many of the beliefs that I have inherited, I managed to transform them, such as the belief of not being worthy, or the belief of racism, the belief of this messianic envoy. I could even see that some of the beliefs came from my grandfather and others from my grandmother. I am. There are many more that you still do not see, and little by little you will discover. Write them down. Don't let them fly into your mind. This is a list of the components that make you be. It is the recipe of your creation. Recognizing the ingredients that make up your belief is the key to understanding the filters of your information. Every channeler and communicator receives information from his highest self, from the crown, and the same, according to their beliefs, translate the information into its own language. It doesn't mean that the beliefs must be eliminated and that they must be recognized, and by doing so, I can identify when I speak from truth of my own belief, and I will know how to inform others of this before sharing. In this way, I free myself, and I free others. Me. And how do I transform my beliefs? I am through your qualities. Quality is the set of particular, own, or unique capabilities of each individual. They are the innate abilities in you that are expressed from you. There are positive qualities and negative qualities. There are qualities that are awake and activate in you, and there are qualities that you lack, that are missing in you, that you seek. Just as in atomic nature, your active qualities, the ones you possess, are the strength you give that make you stand out. And the negative ones, the ones you lack, are the ones that you look for in others through admiration, the need to learn to object to what you lack, like atoms sharing electrons. Me. So I'm supposed to recognize my qualities as well as my beliefs? I am. Identify the qualities you possess is understanding the role you play in the group and realizing what you are capable of, the tools that you have to deliver others. In the same way, by recognizing what you lack, you'll know what you're looking for in your friends and in your partners and in your groups and colleagues. You will discover why you choose the people with whom you share your life, and you will understand the appearance of these conflicting characters on the path of life. Me, I understand. I think that many times identifying our own qualities and those that we lack is very complicated because we're educated not to be selfish, and sometimes recognizing what we have that makes us a little embarrassed if we're actually feeding the ego, more than we should at least. It's more common or more normal to say that the qualities that cannot be said by me, but others are the ones that should say about me. In other words, I can say that I'm a very good friend, but it might not be true and my friends do not think the same. How do I know what I consider a quality is not an idea of something that I really lack? I am. It is quite possible, reflexively, that many people believe that they are something that they're not, but they decide to believe it because they need it. By saying that you are, they're beginning to look for ways to assimilate it and become it. The external look is the one that will reflect what you are. So you should observe the world around you and tell yourself, I am a very good friend of my friends. And there, open the eyes and think about the relationship with friends. How are they? Are they sincere? Me. Do you know? Well, now to mention it, for example, I wrote that one of my qualities is precisely being a good friend. However, now that you put it this way, I understand something that I usually do many times, and that is that I think of myself as a good friend, and I do everything possible so that my friends can fulfill their dreams and have what they want. And if I analyze it well, it has a very far-fetched hidden feeling, which is to buy friendship and love. The more I give to my friends, the more love I'll receive in return. And looking back, I realized that many of the friendships I lost were precisely for doing everything they wanted and for trying to give them what they were looking for. So, being a good friend really wasn't one of my qualities, but rather one of my needs or shortcomings. From the moment I let go of this belief, love has to be earned, I stopped giving like before, and I started to enjoy myself with my friends, and now I feel much more balanced in that aspect. I am. It is precisely for this reason that we have to think carefully about what we write. What I believe about myself is not always the truth, and in the same way, what others see is not always the truth. Therefore, we must take responsibility to recognize what qualities are already awakened and what qualities are sleeping. Close your eyes and analyze. Think of all of those qualities that you consider you have as a person. Activate it in your ego. And without shame or preconceptions, dare to write them down and analyze them, thinking about whether this affirmation has been giving the correct results in your life. And in the next column, write down the ones that you know you're missing and that you may see in your friends and partners or idols or projects that you need to awaken those in yourself. Write them down. Think about why you think they are asleep in you and why you have done nothing to wake them. Me. I just write them down and analyze without even trying to wake them up. I am. Exactly. Because we're here analyzing what and why. Until you understand the parts that compose you, you will not understand the functionality of the whole organism. Me. This is like eating flour every day and not understanding why your belly hurts. Until I understand how the stomach, the gallbladder, the intestines, and all the organs in their daily function work, I will not understand the harm that is being done to me or the limits and capacities that each one possess. And only then I decide to change my habits by knowing the facts. I am. So, take your notebook and write down qualities. Below, 2 columns. In one, those that I have, and in the other, those that are missing or sleeping. Be honest and without shame or worry about the ego. Write down everything that you know you are and what you need to be complete. Me. I begin by acknowledging that I have gratitude for all of this. I am in you. I am one of your qualities. My heart's